So when you memorize lines, that's an interesting thing that you said, that you were free to do it. Like when you memorize lines, is there ever a part, like when you're acting, where you have to think, like, okay, what am I supposed to say next, and how much does that get in the way?
Look, I have a very broad band of tolerances. I don't care if the people I'm with happen to not know what they're doing or don't know their lines or stepping on my lines or whatever, or want to change their lines and my lines. And it's always a different thing. It's like reading the room. It's like, if I was a fighter, you go into the octagon and they go, you ready? You ready? And you go, and then you just
do it.
You go in. But so I've had it where I would try to be off book before everyone else. I would get it down to an acronym. So if there was 1,000 words I had to remember, I would just remember the first letter of each, and I would put it on a piece of poster board, and then I would stand away from it, not as far as you and your archery setup over there, but far enough away to where I can see it but kind of can't see it, back when my vision was a little more clear. And I would just run it and run it and run it. When I did the first Sherlock, we were rewriting it so much, and I would have pages and pages of stuff. I was like, give me an earwig, and it helped me with my accent. And then I started getting into like, what's so great? I can finish work, go home, hang out with my kids, or do whatever I want to do, go train. And in the morning, they can change it all they want. I don't have to trip unless it's some monologue that you want to really be committed to that's not going to shift. I just go like that.
So you'd put one of those little earpieces in and they would feed you the lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I've kind of gone as far as you can go with that, and I'll probably go back to a new method or a new version of the old method.
So it's basically improvisational. Like you in the moment, like you decide with whatever preparation you're going to do for each role, how you're going to do it. Whether you're going to go and memorize everything obsessively, or whether you're just going to be a little bit more loose and free with it.
Yes, it depends on the script too. Like Tropic Thunder, Justin Theroux wrote that script with Ben. It was a really good script. I mean, my missus, who next to my mother, was probably more so, was the opinion I was really waiting on. And she was reading in the kitchen, laughing her ass off. She goes, "This is so wrong. This is so wrong." And she goes, "And it's so true.
Yeah.
If you do this right, you're doing something it's about a bunch of self-involved idiots somehow or other becoming heroes." And she goes, "I love that. If that's what it stays, then it's going to be good." And so, like for instance, the never go.
Yeah.
Full
you don't
blah, blah,
want
blah.
to say it.
No. By the way, I guarantee you, I'm getting out of here. My stock is not plummeting when I leave here. I'm not smoking dope. I'm not doing a musk. I'm going to do everything right.
His stock went up the next day.
All right.
Drop 6, went up 9.
With who?
I don't know. I don't understand it.
I love that you now have it. Now it's a piece of art.
Yeah. With 6% in the smoke.
God bless his heart. Yeah, it just changes. It just changes. And I also know that I don't really know that much, and it's different every time anyway. But I really like when you have a loose concept of what you're doing. There's certain parts that aren't going to change much, and the rest you discover. So the first Iron Man, I mean, John and I and the writers, or John and I, we were just would write. You write a line, I'll write a line, and then we were literally watching the puppies be born as we did it. Frustrating for people who, not Gwyneth, because she can look at a piece of paper and then go, "Okay, I get it," and she's got it all memorized. She's amazing. But what's for the highest good? Sometimes it's very self-indulgent to come in and hand out new pages or say, "Oh, I'm not saying that, so feed me that." You know what I mean? You need an environment of respect. But I like discovering things.